Hello, welcome to episode 25 in the Datapack tutorial series. We're going to be doing part 2 for the Flickering lights. Flickering lights was episode 23, I believe. And I said, wouldn't it be nice if we had a way that we had different power levels? Don't know why I put these so far away. So here we've got the old one. We can turn it on and they flicker. Exactly the same as last episode. Okay, let's make some changes. So let's pop over to the Datapack. Here we are. We've got the Datapack from episode 23. I've just changed the name to 25 because that's a tutorial we're on now. Right, we need to make some changes to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into load and we're going to create a new scoreboard. And this will be the power level or power state. So we'll just call this power. Okay, so if it's 0, there's no power to the switch. If it's 1, it's bad, dodgy power. And if it's 2, it's good, solid power. Solid power. Okay, let's change the tick function. Well, we'll save that. That's all we need to do in there. Tick function, we're just going to... all the tick is doing the flicker. So we only want to flicker if they've got dodgy power. And we'll say that's score number 1. So we'll just put in here scores equals... power equals 1. So if it's got no power, it's not going to do anything. And if it's got a full power of 2, it's not going to do anything. Bye-bye tick function. Okay, let's go off to the press the switch. Boink. And we want to add a couple of things in here. First thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to straight away fail if the power level is 0. So off, execute. As S scores equals power equals 0, run, return, fail. Okay, we'll just exit the function. The button will do nothing. And then down here, we'll add on to the end. We'll send out the power level. So if the power level is 1 or 2, we'll send out the power level to all the linked lights. I mean, we could send it to if the power is 0 as well, but we don't need to. We only really need to know if the power is 1 for the tick function or not. So let's do that. Let's do scoreboard, players, operation, and link all the linked lights. So we can just use this here actually. As all entities markers light power predicate equals ID matches. So we'll do that. And we'll say your power equals at S power. So if the switch has a power of 0, it won't get that far, it'll fail. If it has a power of 1, it will update all the lights. If it has a power of 2, it will update all the lights. So that should keep the tick function happy, where we're checking each light. Cool, so that's what that one done. That's probably it actually. Let's go over. We'll do our reload. We'll press the button. Okay, so I don't know if anything's got a power level at the moment. We need to set some powers. Let's set this switch here. So let's get this. Well, actually, it's just set its power here. Let's just do scoreboard, objectives. Scoreboard, not objectives, players, set any entity type equals marker, limit equals 1, sort equals nearest, and we'll set your power to 0. Done. Okay, it's got a power level of 0. Now the button doesn't work. Okay, if we set its power level to 1, the button works and we've got nothing. There we go. There we go. And we've got the flickering light. Let's turn it off. And now we set the power level to 2. And we've got solid power. Okay, now here's a problem that I don't like. If I set the power level to 0 now, all the lights are still on. And that kind of doesn't make sense. Or I'm not really changing the power. All I'm doing is changing whether the button works. So I think we need a way to cut the power to this. And if we change the power level to 1, well, they're not flickering because we're only updating the score here. So let's add some extra functions. Let's go back in. Let's make some controllers. So we'll have a new file. We'll say set power off. And I'm just going to copy the MC function bit. Copy. So we'll have set power off. We'll have set power on. We'll have set power dodgy. And we'll have a set power update. Set power update. Okay, let's go to set power off. We'll do that first. Right, if we want to set the power off, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to store a 0. That's going to be our power level. So I'm going to do data modify storage. We've already got a bit of data where we're saving our time, so I'll save it in there. And I'll just save it as power. And I want to save it as power state. Power state set value to 0. Okay, fine. Now I'm going to run an update function, and that will be run as a macro. So we'll do function power update with storage. Hey, let me do it. ID data. And that means we'll be able to access the power state inside there. That's good. But if you're turning them off, we're going to have to remove all the blocks that are there. So let's go and get our connected blocks. Where was that in press switch? Here we've got our linked entities. We'll just copy that from process switch or press switch. What we'll do now is we will execute as all the linked lights. At those lights, run set block white wool, and we better change their tag as well because they've got a tag saying they're active. So we'll do tag all those lights, remove light active. Okay, S. Let's go back. And now this is going to be run as the light switch. So I'll show you what I mean there. As the same way that we're running this as the light switch. So I'm going to copy that block, copy, and pop it down. So the coordinates here are the coordinates of this switch, and I am running as that switch, and we're going to run, oh, well, we're not going to run anything because we haven't, Omnimoris, we haven't done reload. And we're going to say set power off. Done. Have I got a sign? Can I have a sign, please? There we go. We'll just say off. So it's currently on. Let's turn the power off to the building. Foomph. Power goes off. And now the switch. Now the switch still works. Why does the switch work? Let's see. We've got about power update. Well, because we haven't put anything in power update. That's why the switch still works. We need to update the stuff and say, look, you've all changed. Okay. So let's go in there and add a little bit into power update. Now we've passed the power state. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set the switch's score at the power score. So scoreboard, players set at S. I'm going to set its power to 0. Now let's turn this into a macro. So I don't want to set it to 0. I want to set it to power state. Here we go. That's where we saved that 0. So let's save it to power state. And because this is a macro line, let's say $, you are a macro line. Okay. That's probably going to be... Well, actually, what we'll do is we'll propagate that to all its connected lights. So let's grab scoreboard objective. In fact, let's go to press switch again, and we're going to grab both of these commands. Copy the ID and process all linked lights. Let's go back to the update. Let's just put them in there. Copy the ID. We're not going to change that at all. And process all linked lights. Actually, what we want there is we just want to remove the tag. So tag, we could have copied the other command. Removed light active. Okay, so we press power off wherever that function's gone. It saves a 0. It runs update. Update saves the light switch's power state to 0. It then updates all the lights and turns them off. Then it goes back and it sets all the power blocks to wool and it removes the light active. Okay, that looks good now. Reload. Let's turn it on. It's on. Let's turn it off. Off. So it was flickering. Now it's off. Okay. And the button doesn't work anymore. So we better fix that so we can actually use the button. Let's go back. And let's go into power on. Now power on, in fact, is going to be pretty easy. Because we don't need to set the white wool. We don't need to turn them off. And we don't need to give them a light active tag. In fact, all we need to do is copy these two commands here from power off. And we'll put them into power on. And we'll just say 2. Remember, full power is 2. And let's go into power dodgy and do the same. And we'll just set that to 1. Save. Okay. Let's go back. Let's do a reload. Let's copy that command block with its command. Control middle mouse. Put them down. We'll say that you are on. And we'll say that you are dodgy. Boink. Boink. We'll just come in here and just change you to on. And we'll just change you to dodgy. Okay. Power is on. My light switch works normally. I can turn it on and off. Cool. Okay. Oh no. Something scary has happened. And now the lights have gone all dodgy. Or not, apparently. No, there's nothing scary happening. Okay, does off work? Off works. Can't use it anymore. Let's turn it on. That works. Okay, let's make it dodgy. And dodgy works. Okay. Right, we had a problem switching between. So it's dodgy now. What happens if we turn it on? It becomes stable. And what happens if we switch the power to dodgy? So switching to dodgy is not working properly. Okay, let's go back. Why is dodgy not working? Well, we are saving the value of 1. We are going to the function update. We're going to update. It's setting the... We're not propagating the score. That's our problem by the look of it. We don't actually need to remove the light level here, light active here. What we want to do is propagate the score instead. So we will do scoreboard players operation for that player's, for any linked lights power level will equal the switch's power level. Okay, so we set the switch's power to power state, which we set as 1, and then we save our temporary ID. Then we find all our linked lights and we set all of their power states to 1. That seems good. Okay, let's do a little reload. So the lights are flickering. We can turn them off. Now we can't do anything. We can turn them on. Now the switch works. Yeah. If the power goes off, they go off. Okay. Let's turn them on. If the lights are on and suddenly the power becomes dodgy, it starts to flicker. That seems good. Or we could have stable again. So these are just controlling the electricity effectively to the switch. So let's set it dodgy. One last test. Does it work if it's dodgy and it goes off? Yes, it does. And now nothing works. There we go. So we've got the same system as before. But now, I mean, these commands here, you wouldn't use in command blocks. You would use them in your data pack. You would say, oh no, the main breaker's gone. And you would run the off command. And you might have more than one switch in a building. So you would run this command for each switch. So let's say the building had 3 switches. You run that at each location of the switches. I think we're done. I could waffle on more, but it seems silly. So I'll let you go. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.